guys, just wanted to do a quick one here. So I trimmed it out. I had to relieve these areas on both of them just so that I can assure that I'm clearing my control arms. That's what that rounded cut is right here, but they sit forward, and if you can kind of project a line out. If you remember, I mean, it'd be probably tough, but I had a relief cut out in one and then kind of a straight cut in the other because I knew I was going to have to eventually get to it. So I just relieved out both areas. It's got a little, basically a cutout for the control arms. And then I cleaned them all up, took them down to the contour of the fender, and we're, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours into the application of the fiberglass. And so at this point, I got my thickness, I got my build, all that. I'm ready to start the finish work, so I just wanted to kind of clean all that up, get it all roughed in. I'll block everything out once it's cured out. Got a little right in there, but it's just on through the gel coat. But at this point, then I'm gonna probably DA it, block it some, DA it, block that, and I think that's it on these. Yeah, that's it, because everything else is internal. Those are all bonded. I'm gonna run a tap over all the threads on those, just to clean. Well, that's a bolt, but I mean, make sure that I've got everything with no interference, and then I'll come in and if I need kitty hair, I'll use kitty hair, but basically flatten these surfaces. I decided I would just drift. This is just roughed in. I just use a flapper disc, basically roughed in both of those. And when I get to blocking, I'll take a piece of tubing or something and sand those in. That's what I'm going to do. And the second one that was on each of the fenders, right here, where that other bead was, I went down the middle of the bead because basically it was this. I put the fiberglass in here. Let me back up a little bit. Put the fiberglass in here just so I had too much, more than enough. And then I cut it around, so now it'll clear the back side of the upper control arm. It's going to land somewhere, not into the center, but I'll easily be able to get the fender on it. It took a little bit to get them off, so these are about ready then to kind of finish the. I just want to do the finish work on these so they're done, because they're off. Jump back on that. I took a piece of cardboard and taped it off, set it on the fender, cut it to the contour of the fender, then taped it onto here. That was the side that had the gap. I haven't started on it, but I need to glass that gap in too. So I'll probably get after that so that I can finish scratching out these, for getting them prepped for final feather, paint. So, oh shoot, sorry about that. Got the TV on, but that's all I have to say at this point. Well. And getting back into my old habits, I got to turn the volume down on the TV. There we go. So I got this one, I blocked it all out. Scratched it all up. Had a couple of low spots, so I just combed it with a very light coat of gold filler, Evercoat. Hit the nips from sanding or grinding, cutting, and then blocked down all the rivets. So this is all blended and filled and radiused and ready for gel coat. Gel coat I'm using is from Fiberglass Warehouse. Yeah, I got without wax. I am not doing a finish surface. I'm doing a surface to sand and prep for paint. Going to start on this side. Get all that done. It's going a lot better than I thought. Oh, and on those, what I just blended them. Just blended them in so they just fade in. And it's nice to have that rib in that fiberglass anyway. It adds a little structure, a little strength to that vertical. I test fit it. Everything clears. I mean, there's no touch anywhere. It clears the control arm, which runs across here. The upper control arm. I mean, I knew it would fit, but I mean, the point, because I have had it mocked up, but this rolls in and jumps in and looks very good, and it's very easy to install with that radius. So, off to the continuing saga of finishing up the front fenders, but I'm almost thinking that I have the opportunity to not have to touch these again before paint, and that's where the goal is, and then I can take those off and accomplish the same thing. Now, I did sand all those. Those are in a position where just before that, after this, but before that right now, just clean it up, comb a little, just to cover the low spots, and then I got a gel coat. So give it that nice hard finish, and voila. So we're making progress, guys. We are making progress. All right. Finished both of them. This one actually they're both extremely thin on the filler. This one leveled off just beautifully. Now, if you recall, 2 layers of matte went down on both of these, and so as I was sanding, I was cognizant of the fact that if I cut through one layer, I don't want to go through the next, because it just adds the strength that I'm looking for. The resin build worked really well to start to find the layer, the first layer, and then I cut, and then I came back and just mudded the low spots, scratched it all out with 36 or 40 grit, I guess is what I had. Scratched it all out, and then put the filler in, and then came back, and it's all just sanded and blocked to 80 grit. So at this point now, I still have these to fill. It's been a busy day, not in the shop for me today, but I'll finish up the back sides of these. This one, I guess I still have to block over the cloth. That one is done. Probably showed that already, but don't know where I'm at. And then hit those. This one, I think, actually, this block to the point that I don't even need filler. I had enough resin stack on it. I hope this one does the same. I don't know. And if it does, then I'm just into the gel coat. Did a little research, and I've never used waxed gel coat, and it is for spraying in a mold. It certainly will assist in promoting the adhesion to the next layer, but it won't fully cure unless you have wax in it to displace the top side and not allow oxygen in, because it's an anaerobic epoxy type cure. So that being said, then I'm going to I ordered today some wax from Amazon, and that'll come in it looks like about a week. So I'm just going to continue on cleaning up that side. I'll yank those guys off, get them to this phase here if they need filler, to the phase that I'm taking these to, and then I'll just gel coat the whole works and block them back out to maybe 80, maybe 180. I don't know, because they're all going to have to get scratched up for surfacer and all that. So anyway, in any event, that's where this day lands, and it is the end of it. It is beginning to grow dark. You can see in the windows there. So thanks, guys. Well, maybe you remember that aluminum piece, but that was used to back these to make that radius from the back side on each one of them. But I got a flat edge, and I wanted to make this the hood channel, so I crushed him in there. I put a few layers in this morning, And then you can see the parting line where I cut it off. I just had fiberglass flagging over. So now I added 4 more layers to the inside because I began tapering the outside. You can see it falling past that edge, you know, where it's the lighter band where I cut it. And so I finished it. I tapered this edge, right, to start to get some, at least a little bit of mat in the very small channel, at least pack something in there and then get some cloth on it. And then, but I found that it thinned too much here. I wasn't comfortable with it. It was about 1/8 of an inch. And I mean, look at this thing, you know, and then it rolls into here. You got to sum the thickness of the backside with the layers that I put on it. So, you know, I probably got about 3/16 on it now. And then I have this tapered on this side. So I'll put that side. So I'll be able to build it back. As compared to the other side, you know, it thins out way up at the outer part of the shell. But this is nice and rigid along this band, and you can see it's all cloth. They laid after they blew the chop in, then they laid cloth on the whole inside because it's right there. And then the rest of it is just the chop gun. You know, just sprayed in. Because that bolts up to the fenders, and it's really quite structural. You know, it's got to have that rigidity. So of course I laid cloth up to here. I sanded past the cloth, laid cloth up to here, and at this time I put 3 layers down, laid a band of cloth, and I just built that out with, I don't know, 2, 3 more strips just cut, and that's why they hang over. It'll be easy to trim off. So almost done with the grill, and then I remembered I'm not putting a radiator cap there, so I'm going to poke around before I gel coat it. I'm going to poke around because I had to, this was all wrong how it came out of the mold, and I had to sand that. And so I need to finish dressing the radius and do something with that. But I'm almost thinking I'm either going to eliminate that dip for that's, you know, of course, for the radiator cap, but thinking about what I'm going to do, if I'm going to put a decorative hood ornament or grill ornament on it, or if I'm going to just smooth it. So don't know yet, and leaning towards the smoothing it simply because I think it'll go with the theme on the car a little better. And I don't know if I do the hood like that hood where it lifts up and forward, this hood lift up and forward. If I do the same thing on that, I really like that because you get access, but don't know yet. So I'll have to make a decision here within the week on that. And then anyway, I got to start unbolting those because these guys are done. I did fill the back because as I was blocking, you can see this very clearly. See that little band right there? As I was blocking those down, getting to look at them, I was getting digging a well. I was digging a well. So I did fill them. This one I dug a pretty good one by comparison. And so I block sanded them all the way to 80. And now they're flush. So those are ready for gel coat. Other than I'll probably peek around at chips because I noticed one chip. I remember it from a video actually. And so I don't know exactly where it is right now. If I, of course, start thinking about it. No, that's not it. That's just probably came that way because there's no chip out. But somewhere around there's a chip. One of these. But all right, guys. See ya. Hey guys, got this thing flipped over. And again, the same thing that I did on these guys here. Well, of course, I stacked up this side with cloth to build it up to the height. Ground back. There's the original edge. It drifts into here. And then I layered cloth till I got to the surface. I had to grind this edge. I built the back last night a little bit more because I ground through, and then layered up, and then cloth. I folded the cloth up this edge. I ran this over, folded it up this edge, so this has a small bead that I don't want to build out of Bondo. So I'll be able to dress that. Of course, there will be probably some filler in there. And you have to remember that gap was 1/4 of an inch or so, maybe 3/8. So I got plenty of excess material. I finished with a layer of cloth on there, built it up with mat, finished with a layer of cloth, and then just resined the top of the cloth. You can see some bleed through, but as I sand this, I don't want to sand through the cloth. So I blocked this out. The build, there's some build, right? So I got edges, so I'll start blocking that all down. It does start to taper right about here, taper down, but that's all waste. So I'll blend that in, block it down, and get that ready for come on, gel coat. I did not do anything with that. Actually, as I finished that up, I thought, wonder if I can quick break that down before the resin dries. That didn't take very long. And I opted out of that. That's a fool's game. So I got to work on that still. Forgot about that this morning. Anyway, that's done now. And I'll probably move to that and the rear fenders, right? Get everything ready for the receipt of the gel coat. Thanks, guys. Kind of an uneventful morning, guys. I spent most of it preparing videos for load. That takes so much time. In any event, I sanded this down, just to flatten it out. And I didn't take a bunch of material off, just to kind of get it flat. When the inside's sprayed, you don't want to see a big right there. And then I worked on blocking the finished surface, or the show side, I guess maybe is a better way of addressing it. So I blocked all this out to 180 now. Finished dressing the side and that. It's going to get cut off right up in this neighborhood, and it's almost as if I can't at this point, wipe some acetone on it. I'll be able to see the shadow. But I mean, it's if you look, this radius comes around. It's supposed to follow the fender like this, right? The radius comes around and it follows the fender. So I did dress it down as far as I could, but I'll need to find at least a starting point here, and there's too much material on there to do it at this point, but I just don't have the time in the day. While I had this off, I trimmed the flashing all the way around the inside, and of course that's, like, what do they say, beating yourself with a tennis racket. It's not a fun job, but just slowly blocking it all the way around. I took a cutoff wheel first and got close, where I could see the flashing still sticking out from the bead, and then took and blocked it down again. In this case to 80, because I'll probably just put a layer of or 2 layers of gel coat on it. I got to clean off all the stickers and the ink. The one thing about when you use Sharpie, magic marker, whatever you want to call it, is that telegraphs through paint, and sometimes you can get away with it, when you spray down your sealer and that, but you don't want to chance that. The beauty of that is rubbing alcohol or acetone or anything like that just takes that right off. So, or if you have an opportunity and you're blocking, a lot of times it sands off. In here, there were some marks in the gel coat, just in the gel coat, and I wanted to know if those telegraphed into the fiberglass, so I took and I scratched those up. There's another one right there. Very hard, right there. You know, and so I just kind of started poking around on it. The chip I mentioned in an earlier video was not on a fender, it was on this. So I actually filled that with cloth and resin and built it up. It wasn't deep enough. It just took a layer, you know, I just tucked some cloth in there and then I blocked that down. So the way it's set, and I'll probably block this whole thing out, but I'm just going to spot spray the acetone. Yeah, there's marks there too. So I'll probably wind up doing all of it, more than likely. This, as of today and yesterday, I have decided I'm going to keep that. I'm going to fab up a top for it. It looks, you know, and this is a 37, but it looks like Dodge has a relatively common top, and I could probably machine something like this anyway, or even if I integrated, I could have my son 3D print it that would fit on there. Now you can see the back side of this went to a chrome bead that went down the hood. Oof, she's a dusty one. Went down the hood, and I am not like this. The hood's going to be one piece because that's the way I like it. So I wouldn't have it have a flat back. I would go with a round back. This probably tailed, you know, right here. I have no idea what it did. I have no idea. But I'm going to put something on there. That's where I'm at with that. Anyway, so there we have it. I threw the fenders on to start the mock-up of this, and I think I'm going to go in and, you know, take a shower and get ready for work. Thanks, guys. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, share this. Please share this. I see in the more recent in the more recent videos, the hits are going up and up and up and up and up. And the comments have really taken off. So just keep them coming. I have gotten great ideas, and it's by doing this on this that gives me new ideas like that. That gives me the creative ideas to keep on, how do I want to say? Keep an open mind. Keep an open mind. And of course I get to choose, right? It's mine. I get to choose, and I'm not looking for a popularity contest. I'm looking to adjust the way I'm thinking so that I don't turn into a rabbit, you know, try to just get it done for the sake of getting it done. I slow down, take my time, and get it the way I want it to be. So the comments create ideas, and ideas create cars. Have a great one. I just thought I'd capture a quick one here, let you know the status. I didn't get a lot done this morning because I was getting videos uploaded to YouTube. But I did just checking fitment and all that, you know. Everything looks really, really, really good that way. Got them both on. Slapped a couple of rows of tape on here, and now, I mean, you can just imagine. I got that rough cut. Basically, right now it's rough cut. But I have to get that three-dimensional profile on that side to fit this side. So now it's in and out and in and out and in and out. And, you know, they cinch together on the sides of the grill shell. And I can see they're sitting on there all crooked. But that's fine. I just set them on right now. But anyway, you got to get the grill shell in there and cinch them up and take it off and, you know, mark it, take it off, trim a little, put it back on, mark it, take it off, until I get the good fitment. This is not a fun process. I was laying it up on the floor, and if you saw me struggle a little bit earlier between downloads, you know, when you download a video, it takes, whatever, 30 minutes or so, or up upload, I should say. Then in between each one of those, so I was just kind of chasing back and forth and all that. But I'm wrapping it and getting ready for work. But oofta. Today is Thursday, so I have an opportunity here this weekend to get this going. I know I said earlier in some earlier videos that by the weekend, I'll have everything ready to spray up, because my wax will come in for the for the gel coat, and I'd like to get this stuff finished and tabled, But that's where I'm at, and until next time. Hey guys, hope everything's going good for you, and I'll give you a quick update here. So clearly we can see this side, the fitment is very good. Okay, and he's bolted up. My seam's closed. Here my seam's open, and basically I've been slowly introducing the fender, this way and that way, and just drawing lines. You can see the evidence of my red line. Before that was a black line, so I could identify the transition. And now I'll probably start wiping it off, but you can see that, I'm starting to get the profile right, but I'll just slowly eke it up there. And what this consists of is, probably pretty obvious, but I'll take and scribe, try to get this edge lined up with this edge, and scribe. And obviously as that gap closes more and more and more, I'll keep scribing or drawing a line on here and just blocking it with 40 grit until I get it to fit. Now, technically, welting goes on here, and it's probably wise to put a fender welting on here and run it down, because it's going to move around on there. And I'm still in the thinking phases of probably having to attach a bracket on the back side of here to keep it from flapping, right? Because the hood has to attach somehow as well, right? Whatever holds the hood out. So there might be a combination bracket there that keeps that side hood side panel on. But at this point, I'm just whittling away with it. I got to run. Still weekday. Today is Friday. And my goal for getting this stuff accomplished before the week is out, all the fiberglass accomplished before the week is out, is still pending, but it's looking a lot better. This is a challenge because it takes a significant amount of time, because you have to pull the fender off, put it on. I just have them hanging on there. I don't have them bolted, but you still have to take it off, scrape, 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 put it on. And of course, it doesn't just slide straight out, right? It's got to go up around the control arm. See, it's not a piece of cake, but it's not difficult. It's just not something you can do in a few moments. So I've been whittling away at this this morning, but I'm getting there, and I will get there. Anyway, status for the day. Talk to you soon. What in the... I'm so sick and tired of saying, what the hell? Rub, rub, rub. Make a line and rub. Make a line and rub. That's all I'm doing is making lines and rubbing. So you take a millimeter at a time off this thing. Is anybody listening to me? Anybody? Crying in the... should fit now. Hell. Day after day, I begin to wonder, did I just say, didn't see you there. I think I got it. Hey guys, we're sitting on the rear of the car. I put my simulated rear pan, closeout, whatever on, and basically I'm holding everything together. That's really the extent of it. But I wanted to make sure, if you recall from an earlier video, I got a little bit of a gap right here, so I taped that off and tucked that in because I'm getting ready to do these. First thing I did when I got in this morning, I trimmed, and then I got it, but I just had a couple of spots, so I ran some cloth, actually just 2 sheets laying flat. Yeah, 2 sheets laying flat and just tucked them. And, you know, it's probably overkill because I'm going to have to put some form of a welting on there, but that is the shape of this now. Whatever. I had to block it out, so I just stuck a little in there. And then I came over and I'm trying to see how I got this side shaped around the body, and yes, it'll be closed out. I just didn't want to have the challenge. This gap opened up. That's an exaggeration because it tapers in, you know, a little bit, but you know, probably 1/2 of an inch. And I don't want to have an obstacle to overcome while I'm, you know, fabricating up the back of this. So I'm closing that out. I had the resin, I had the mat, closing him out. So I'll pull him off, you know, and block all that. And I made work for myself right there. There's resin laying on the top of the fender. I'll get that. Anyway, just finished it up and I thought I'd snap a quick one. So we are about there. We are about at that point where these will be prepped and or shaped and ready for gel coat, and then I can begin prepping. Don't have the gel coat, won't have it till, but 3-4 days from now. Don't know why that takes so doggone long to ship, and I think I do, but whatever. Anyway, so there you have it. Yay. Guys, good to hear from you. Got the fender off, and I took the time and made some washers for the inside. So I've been using these brackets on the grill shell side, but I wanted to copy them on the inner fender side. So I just took a shape, you know, using paper, took a shape off, drilled them, and made a couple of inside brackets. All this stuff I'll get coated, right? You know, when I do there's a huge amount of powder coating around here. But I did that. Well, and of course, since I have that off, you know, I have this off. And so this is what I laid on as soon as I yanked it off, I put a piece of tape on here because I had some phalanges and things sticking a little bit toward the inside, and I just dressed that and stopped. I sanded to the tape. Because I let that gel run down, on the outside, right, it gave me the profile of the fender. I'm way too close. It gave me the profile of the fender. So now I can cut this all down and finish it out. So that's curing. That needs a good 24 hours to cure. So, and the rear fender, I'm letting that cure, but I pulled him off and I got a profile now, and I'll shave that down. But while I was doing that, I got the other one off, and I got the Evercoat Gold laid in and blocked it out. Hit it with a 90 grit DA. I scratched the whole surface. I dug with my fingers in all the little holes here, just so I can get a nice profile on there. And I will do the same. I sanded where it's shiny here, you know, where I never really blocked it for the test fit. I took a 40 grit on the little mini Christmas block, pneumatic block, and I will do the same thing on this side as I did on this side, and then scratch out all the little holes where anywhere it's shiny, scratch it with some 40 grit or 36 grit or what have you. Blocked the whole thing down, filled it, came back, just quickly blocked the fill with that pneumatic block, and then started working the thing with 80 grit. So it's blocked down to 80 grit right now on this side. Cure, done, and I made some brackets, and now I don't know what to do, because it's like noon 30 and I might as well go take a shower and find something else to do for the day. I don't want to start anything major because, you know, I'll be here all day. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Fred Kynes, AKK Classics. All kinds of classics. And signing off for now. Okay. Half a turn. First one's the fun one because you can always correct it. It's gonna be, you know what you gotta show. And because it'll be you always want to show the corners like this, not straight on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You want to introduce them like this, and nobody puts it in slow motion.